Hello and happy Thursday. Welcome to My State MLS. My name is Dave, and today is part 3 of our December webinar series of growing your business in the cold seasons. Today, we're talking about the resolution to grow your business because 2021, can you believe it? Just around the corner. And for those, I'm about to put a photo up for those that maybe have weak stomachs, turn your head away now because this is my backyard right now. Covered in snow here in upstate New York. I'm scared to bring the ruler out there and just see how much snow is out there, but I'm pretty sure I got more snow today than I did all of last year. So this is what it's looking like outside my window today, where we are talking about growing your business, getting ready for that new year. Before we get started, I want to know, what are you doing to grow your business in the new year? What are your plans for 2021? What are you starting to do now? I want to know what you're doing to grow your business for 2021, especially as we look back on the year that 2020 has been. Lots of people trying to think of ways that they can reinvent themselves, figure out what they can do differently to make next year their best year possible, especially as we come off the year that has been 2020. Taking a look at some of your suggestions now. Steven says he's going to do winter outreach to potential sellers. And that's one of the things we're going to focus on today, is how we can go ahead and expand our reach out to those new potential sellers, those new potential buyers, and make 2021 the biggest year possible. So right now is the best time to act. If you're not acting now, after this webinar, start coming up with your plan for 2021 and start acting on it right away, because there are things that we can do right away that's going to make 2021 better than ever. Gail's saying she's also going to be doing lots of social and internet marketing, and that's a big part of what we're going to talk about today. So Gail, you are on the right page, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. So as we said, today is part 3 of 3 for our December webinar series. And what I want to do is kind of just review what we've learned so far this month and see how that can be applied to what we want to do in 2021 and growing our business. So what do we know now? We know that we need to engage in our digital marketing. And that's exactly what Gail's going to be doing. We're engaging online, embracing digital marketing, embracing social media, which means we're going to be focusing on things like our Facebook pages. We're going to be focusing on what we're posting on Facebook and Instagram. We have to embrace that social media and make sure we're engaging with our followers on those platforms. And if we can, we want to speed up the transaction process altogether. We focused on that last week when we talked about how you can make checklists for yourself to speed along that transaction process and make sure that you utilize platforms like electronic signature systems like the MyStateMLS RDocs platform, where you can go out and have your buyers, your sellers, your clients go ahead and sign off on all of their agreements wherever they are. Because we just saw my picture, I'm stuck inside. I'm not driving anywhere today. But even though I'm stuck at home, I can still do my business because I can still send out contracts and have people sign those electronically. And by doing that, that's going to speed up the entire transaction process, which can help us grow our business, because if we can speed up the transaction process, what does that mean? We can do more transactions in the same amount of time that it used to take for us to just do one. So how are the things that we just talked about going to grow our business? Let's first focus on that online presence. Why is that important? Well, first off, it's going to make it easy for those buyers and sellers to see you. That's the number one thing. You want to make sure that people know you exist, because you're not the only game in town. You're not the only broker. You're not the only agent. So you've got to go ahead and set yourself apart from your competition and make sure that those buyers and sellers are seeing you when they're doing their online searches, or maybe when they're not doing searches, maybe when they're just flipping through their Instagram feed, flipping through, scrolling through Facebook. Having your name pop up there, having one of your posts pop up as an ad, as a boosted post, is going to make it easier for those buyers and sellers to see you and to discover you. And by doing that, that in turn could increase your customer base. So let's talk about growing our online presence. Steve says he wants to go ahead and reinforce that he's doing real estate. Having this online presence can reinforce that idea that, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here for you as a buyer. Yes, I'm here for you as a seller. I'm here. I can be your real estate professional no matter what you're looking to achieve, whether you're looking to buy, sell, find a vacation home. I'm going to be here for you. We've discussed this numerous times this year, and that online marketing is more important than it has ever been. We know that over the past decade, online use has surpassed everything. We know that people are using their phones more than ever. So having your online marketing is going to be number one when it comes to your plans for how you're going to get your name and your brand out there in 2021. And that means having your website updated and making sure you're staying active on your social media. So before we get into social media, let's just talk about our website. It's important that you keep your website updated. That means making sure you've got correct contact information and bio information for all of your agents. Make sure that the agents that left your company 2 years ago are still not listed on your website. Make sure that the website is up to date with the most current agent roster, all of their correct info. Maybe you want to do some spring cleaning. Let all of your agents know. Say, hey, have you switched phone numbers? Do you have a different email address? Do we need to change anything on the website? Let us know. We want to make sure the website's up to date for the start of 2021. You can also incorporate things like having an IDX on your website. That's going to allow you to have the newest listings for your website. And what's great about an IDX is as new listings are posted within the MLS, they automatically populate on your website. And now that we're kind of approaching the slower season, we're all getting snowed in. We're knowing that traditionally real estate slows down around these winter months. It may be time to consider having an entire refresh to your website. You may want to work on rebranding your company. Maybe it's time for you to get some new logos, some new company colors for your brokerage. You can find someone online, a graphic designer who can come up with some ideas at a pretty affordable rate. So you could certainly think about getting a brand new refresh, getting a new branding, and then building a brand new website based on that. So if you've got all of these things already in place on your website, there's additional things that you can do to further grow your brand, grow your business. And these are some additional website add-ons. The number one thing that I'd like to see more people do is using blogs to generate SEO. So for those that aren't familiar with blogs, they're essentially news articles that are posted onto your website. You could think of it almost as a Dear Diary or a journal where you can go ahead and just talk about things on your website. And then, of course, making sure you've got that easy to use contact form for those potential buyers, those potential sellers to go out and be able to reach you at any given time, no matter where they are, whether they're on their phone, they're on their tablet, they're browsing during their lunch break at work, they can't sleep and they're on their phone at midnight. Having that contact form so they can reach you 24/7, 365 is certainly something every website should have. And if you're saying, Dave, I would love to do a blog, but I just don't know what to talk about. So there are plenty of things that you can post about in a blog. Maybe you want to spotlight local businesses. This is something that we've talked about in our social media webinars in the past, is maybe one day a week you just spotlight a local business or you feature a local event that's happening on the weekend. You could do the same thing with blog posts, because this is going to show that you're the local expert when it comes to real estate and everything within your area. So when people do searches about different things, they may land on your website because you reviewed a local restaurant. So if someone was driving through town, they said, oh, cool, I wonder how that burger place is. They're going to search for that burger place. They may come across your blog because you wrote about when you went there for some burger and fries one day on your lunch break last week. So by doing that, that's great. And if you also share a picture of that restaurant, you post it on your Facebook, you post it on your Instagram, you could then tag that local business on those respective pages, and then they may in turn go ahead and share that post as well. So by you tagging that restaurant could then go ahead, share your post, and that's going to bring their followers back to your page, which in turn they could be liking your photos, they could like your page, which means as you post new things, whether it's new articles, new listings, you could be generating content on their social media feeds because they followed you because you featured their favorite burger bar 2 weeks ago. You could also go ahead and discuss local market trends. This is a great topic for people that may be considering buying their houses. They may just do a quick search of selling my house in the town, and having those local market trends where you can talk about what happened in the past month, what kind of properties are selling, what kind of buyers are hot right now, what buyers are looking for. Those are definitely things you could post in your blogs. Or you could do topics related to homeownership or real estate in general. So not everything has to be about real estate. You could do posts about ways to keep your driveway clean. I know I need those tips right now. I'm going to fire up that snowblower. Let's hope it starts on the first pull. Maybe you do things like preparing your snowblower for the winter months, preparing your snowblower for storage in the summer. Those are different topics you could do. Maybe you could do something like painting an accent wall. What kind of paints you should put on the wall to make your room look bigger, that make it look smaller, things like that. Weekend DIY tips, saying, oh, swapping out all of your old light bulbs with LED bulbs could save you X amount of dollars a month, X amount of dollars a year. Things like that. You could also bring in other experts to talk about things. Maybe you know a mortgage lender. They could talk about mortgage rates and why now may be the best time to refinance or buy a home because interest rates are so low. You could talk to a contractor and talk about why installing energy efficient windows is important. So there are definitely things that you can post blogs about, share those blogs on your social media, on your Instagram, and then of course that gets the ball rolling of sharing those posts and hopefully bringing new potential buyers, new potential sellers to your page for them to like and hopefully interact with you down the road. And I just said that a bunch of times, that social media is important. And when we think about social media, just having the page is not enough. You need to make sure you keep a social media schedule and make sure you're posting semi-regularly. So again, I said maybe you want to do a local spotlight every Friday. You could do the same exact thing on your social media where on Friday, you take a picture of the restaurant that you ate out at that week or who you got takeout from that week. Mondays, you could do the newest listing, your favorite listing. Wednesday, you could do a funny picture related to real estate. Whatever you want to do, come up with a social media schedule that you think you can maintain. We're not saying do 3 posts a day, every single day, 7 days a week. If it's every other day, that's fine. That's still enough for you to be generating constant content for your followers to view and like. And making sure when you're posting, you're engaging with your followers. This is super important. Just having pictures up and you're not responding to anyone's questions, you're not responding to anything, it's just going to look like you're a robot and you're not actually posting anything. It's just that you're running a program that's doing all the work for you. So make sure you engage with everyone. So if someone comments on your photo, make sure, even if you just like the photo, you don't have to respond to it necessarily, but even if you like it, that's still showing engagement. I look at some of the brokerages that I follow on Instagram, and I see every single day they've got brand new listings on their Instagram feed. They've got brand new videos to their Instagram stories. They're always posting different things. They're even posting the marketing trends at the end of each month saying how many listings were sold for how many dollars for a total amount spent. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with your social media, especially as an informational platform when you're sharing information with your followers. Next, Facebook Live and virtual tours. This has become a very, very big and important thing this past year. Again, with social distancing measures in place, people not being able to do traditional open houses, Facebook Live videos and virtual tours have become one of the #1 things that every agent and broker should be doing with every one of their listings. And I cannot stress this enough. It's very easy to do. And what's great about Facebook Live videos is even after you've shot that live video once, it remains on your Facebook page. So it can be shared to other people's pages. It can be shared with family and friends. It can be seen by the general public that visit your Facebook page. So by doing these live walkthrough videos, you've got the ability for that video to potentially be shared with other people, and through trickle-down sharing, you could eventually get new customers that way, new clients, and hopefully the buyer for that property that you're doing that walkthrough for. And the last thing I want to touch on with our social media is considering boosting your posts as ads. If you've got a post on Facebook, for just a couple dollars, you can actually turn that post into a boosted post, essentially turning it into an ad for other Facebook members to see whether it's a really hot listing that you think is going to sell really quick. If it's one that you think is going to generate a lot of buzz, a lot of people sharing it, you can go ahead and boost these posts so other people can see them. And then in turn, again, they can come back, start following your page, start following your Instagram feed. And that's really what it's all about. And that's how you're going to grow your business with social media. It's just by keeping active and making sure you're taking all the right measures to make sure that your feed is up to date, you're engaging with your followers, and you're encouraging people to go out and share. Next way that we could grow our business is with referrals, because let's face it, referrals can be easy money. We've already been doing referrals before. I think someone already said that before. Steven said he's going to be reaching out to potential sellers. What we can do with referrals is we're going to be reaching out not to potential sellers, but we're going to be reaching out to past customers and clients. So we're going to be calling out the people that we've worked with in the past, people who we helped buy their last home, people who we helped sell their last home. What we want to do is reach out to them and let them know that you're still in business, and that if they've got any family and friends that are looking to sell or buy in 2021, that you would certainly appreciate if they would put your name in the running when they talk with their family and friends. And when you're doing these calls and you're reaching out to these past customers and clients, be sure to go out and make sure your calls don't sound like cold calls. If you use something like a CRM, that's going to allow you to take notes about those particular customers. If they've got kids, make sure in your CRM you write down the names of those kids. So that way when you give a call, say, hey, Jim, how's it going? Wondering how Cece's doing in school. Are they still doing social distancing, or is she having to learn from home? How's it going with that? Be on a more personal level with them instead of just saying, hey, it's me, just want your business, want your friend's business. Okay, bye. Be personal, be personable when reaching out to those customers and clients. And this is really where it ends for most people when it comes to their referrals, is they just reach out to their past customers and clients. But they don't think about going the other way. And we're talking about is helping your relocating customers find their next home, no matter the location. Let's say we've got a client, we're selling their home in our home state, but you saw my picture, you saw how much snow is here. They said, we are not dealing with this another winter. We're going to move to Florida. Typically, you might say, all right, well, good luck in your search. I wish you the best. But why not help them find that Florida home? What you can do with MyStateMLS is you can go ahead and say, come on over to the office if you want. We'll do a screen share. You stay at home. I'll stay at home. We'll do a Zoom call. I'll do a screen share. And why don't we look for some Florida homes together? And then what we can do is we can find the perfect home for them. I'll reach out to that listing agent and say, hey, this is Dave up in New York. I've got some customers. I'm selling their house up here, but we found your listing down there and they would love to see that house. Is there any way I can send you a referral agreement and refer them down to you? That Florida agent, of course, wanting to get a new customer, sell that home that's online, they're going to say absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to log into our MyStateMLS account, pull up that agent referral agreement, send it over to that agent in Florida. They're going to sign it. And what's going to happen is once that agreement is in place, I'm going to send Jim and Pam down to that agent in Florida. That agent's then going to help them out buy their next home. That agent's then going to be happy because she got her commission from selling the property. And what she's going to do is she's going to send me my cut because I referred to her my New York clients. So now we can think about the different ways that we can get referrals. And by helping those relocating customers find their next home, especially if they're moving on the other side of the country and you're not licensed in those states, you're certainly going to still be able to collect some money because you're going to be able to refer them out to other brokers in those areas that can help them out. So let's talk about branching out and growing your reach. Now, what we mean by that is going ahead and expanding your territory. Many people don't know this, but there are over 650 MLSs across the entire country. And those local MLSs, unfortunately, can be quite restrictive. Typically, they cover 1, 2, maybe 3 counties in a geographic region. Of course, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the state, depending on the geographic area of that particular state. But when you work in just that local MLS, that's exactly it. You're pretty much restricted to just that local area. But the thing is, when you're licensed by the state, you're licensed to work statewide. So why are you being forced to just focus on just one particular area? We suggest is work beyond your territory. See if you can find listings beyond your local MLS, even if you're working right now in a 20-mile radius or within a 2-county radius. Why not just slowly creep on into the next county? Where I am in New York, I've got one county that's literally a stone's throw away from where I am right now. And then I've got another county that's 20 minutes from where I am right now. So theoretically can work in all of these different counties. But what's funny is that county that's 20 minutes away from me is actually covered by a different MLS. So if I ever wanted to do business in that other county, technically I would have to also join that MLS. And that is just cost prohibitive. So why would you join all of these different MLSs when you can use a much larger platform like MyStateMLS and expand your reach and work statewide and even nationwide with a platform designed to help you do your business. The last thing I want to touch on before we dive into how MyStateMLS can help you out with all of these things is grow your company by adding more agents. One of the things I want to talk about is MLS of Choice. This is a rule that's been put in place from the NAR several years ago, and what it does is a lot of people still aren't familiar with it or still know what it means, but what it does is it gives brokers and agents more flexibility when it comes to which MLS they can join. Before MLS of Choice was a rule, before it was put in place, if a broker was part of an MLS, all of their agents were required to join that same exact MLS. If an agent didn't join, if their payment failed, if they missed a payment, what would happen is that agent could be fined some more money, the broker could be fined, all of the other agents from that brokerage could be blocked out of their accounts. There were a lot of penalties involved if someone didn't join that MLS following in their broker's footsteps. However, with the MLS of Choice rule, now it means that any agent can join any MLS that they want as long as their broker is a participant. For a MLS like MyStateMLS, we do not charge a broker to become a participant. So that opens the door for any agent across the country to utilize our platform and take advantage of what we offer as a nationwide MLS and referral system. So with that said, think about hiring new agents, because even though most places have been closed, offices have been closed, test locations have been closed, new agents are still getting licensed. States are still issuing licenses. New agents are still taking their tests online. So if you're a broker, maybe consider bringing on new agents. And with that ability to have MLS of Choice, give them the ability to go ahead and join a different MLS if they want to. They can find cheaper alternatives than what your local MLS may be. You could also consider hiring part-time agents as well as referral agents. Referral agents could start to become a thing of the past, especially now with MLS of Choice. Typically, referral agents were created because they were agents that did not want to pay for realtor dues. They didn't want to pay for MLS dues. So what would happen is brokers would have to go ahead, create a secondary company, a referral company. So they would just hold those licenses for those agents. They couldn't list properties. All they could simply do was get referrals and send those referrals back to the other agents at the other brokerage who were part of the MLS to list the properties. You may also want to consider part-time agents. 2020, again, I say this over and over, but certainly put a wrench in things. Lots of people, unfortunately, had to quit their jobs to stay home so their kids could social distance learn, so they could do learning from home. Other people, unfortunately, may have lost their jobs altogether. So lots of people may be dipping their toes into real estate, trying real estate, or if they had to become stay-at-home parents, they may be considering becoming part-time real estate agents. They got their license because they know that with being in real estate, they have somewhat of a flexibility with their schedule, or they can pretty much work anywhere on their phone, take a phone call anytime. So consider those part-time agents, those referral agents, and of course those agents getting just licensed, because you can offer them things such as MyStateMLS as a great way for them to get started and still be able to do the same kinds of things that traditional agents would do that are paying those higher dues for your local MLS. So let's talk about how MyStateMLS can help. So MyStateMLS, for those that don't know, we are a nationwide MLS and referral network. So we cover all 50 states, including the territories, which give our members nationwide search tools to go ahead and search for listings across the entire country. Even if you're not part of your local MLS, chances are you're still going to be able to use those search tools and see listings from your local MLS and surrounding systems. So you've got the most comprehensive search tools available to you when you're looking for listings for your buyers, for your sellers, if you're looking for comps. On top of that, we have our built-in customer CRM tool, which goes back to calling up those past customers and clients, having the ability to save notes of all of those clients, knowing exactly the names of all their family members, knowing and tracking what you've done with them in the past. And that's what we're talking about how you can grow your business. So let's just quickly dive into MyStateMLS just for a few minutes, just to kind of show you how all of these things work. So the first thing I wanted to jump into is my MyStateMLS account. That's what we're looking at right now. If you're not a member of MyStateMLS just yet, you can join us anytime by visiting us at MyStateMLS.com. all you have to do is click on that sign up button right at the center of the page. That's going to allow you to go ahead and get your account created. You can essentially get your account started same day. So if you want to get started today, you can be up and running and searching for properties nationwide as early as right now. But once you've logged into your account, what I want to talk about is that nationwide search tool. We are one of the MLSs that fully embrace this platform, and it's called Professional Search. It used to be called Access Find. So we can get to it by clicking on Access Find on the left-hand sidebar menu, or from the search dropdown here at the top of the screen. Once you pull it up, it's going to bring up Realtor.com's Professional Search. You may be saying, well, Dave, this just looks like Realtor.com. It looks like Realtor.com, but what it is a much more powerful tool on the back end. So what this is this is a tool offered only to real estate professionals. Hence, it's called Professional Search. What it does is it takes information that you would normally get on regular Realtor.com, but it also combines different historical MLS data, tax record information, historical data, and combines that all into one centralized tool. So you're going to have the most comprehensive search available when you're looking for properties. So let's go back to my original example that I mentioned before. I'm working with Jim and Pam here in New York. I'm selling their house. They're going to move to Florida. A few years ago, I might say, well, good luck with your move to Florida. Now, I'm part of MyStateMLS. I've got this professional search tool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to search in Florida for them. So let's say they're getting new jobs down there, or they've got family in Polk County, Florida. I'm just going to start typing that out. It starts searches, and right out of the gate, I've got 6,100 for sale listings in Polk County. Now that's all listing. What we're going to want to do, maybe we want to narrow down our price range for them. We'll do 250 to 275,000. You want at least 4 bedrooms, and if possible, 3 baths. Let's see if there's anything. Perfect. So here we go. We did our Polk County search in Florida with 4 or more bedrooms and 3 baths. What we can do is we can scroll through. Again, if we want, they can come to my office. I can put something up on the big screen. We can search for properties. If we're practicing social distancing, we can do a Zoom call, and I can do a screen share. And what we can do is we can start flipping through all of these listings. And remember, I'm not licensed in Florida. But what I can do is I can open up this listing. They say, wow, this house looks perfect. It's right in their price range. It's on the lower end, so that could save them some money. If we wanted, we can flip through the pictures. This looks like it might be a brand new build or recently renovated. But what's cool is I've got the listing agent's name and I've got her phone number. So I can call Ruth Rodriguez from Solar X Realty. I can give her a call and say, hey, Ruth, this is Dave up in New York. I've got some clients here. They're actually going to be moving to Florida. I saw your house at 606 Park Ave and was wondering if I could refer them down to you. Ruth is going to say, of course, absolutely. What I'm going to do is say, all right. What I'll do is I'm going to send you an agent referral agreement. If you could just fill that out, send that back to me. And what I'll do is once I get that signed, I'll go ahead and I will send you their information. She's going to say, okay, great. I'm going to fill it out. She's going to fill it out. And what I can do is I'm going to go right to my MyStateMLS account again. I'm going to click on resources and forms. I'm going to find my agent referral agreement. I can fill this out, send it over to her. Ruth will then fill it out. And then we've got the agreed upon referral fee. So this could be a flat fee, it could be a percentage, whatever it's going to be. I'm going to be able to go ahead and fill that out. So I said, all right, Ruth, here's their information. They're going to come down next week. They're really great people. I think you'll really like them. And I look forward to hearing from you. Jim and Pam head on down. Ruth shows them a house. They may not like this one. Maybe she shows them a different one. But they end up buying a house with her. So what happens is Ruth's going to go ahead, collect her 3%, or whatever it's going to be on the commission of the house she just sold them. She's then going to send me a check because I referred them to her. So let's take a quicker look at professional search while we're here. So again, we already saw that we can flip through all the photos. As we scroll down, we see the same information that we would typically see on a regular real estate listing. What we want to look at is down below, we can see we've got a lot of historical information here. And right here, this property history. This is one of the coolest pieces of professional search, because what it does is it actually has all of the different information about the different properties. So we can see it looks like just the lot was sold back in 2008. And this isn't even pictures of the actual property. And then again in 2000, or excuse me, it was listed in 2008, listed in 2009. Yeah, and we can see it's just building lots close to Large Lake. So we can see they didn't have anything built on this lot yet. So all they had was the sign of where the community, where this property is located. So it looks like sometime between 2015 and 2020, this property was built. So again, like I said, when I first saw this listing, it looks like this is a brand new build for this home. So this would be a brand new house for them for $250. So again, that's how MyStateMLS is going to show us those nationwide searches and being that nationwide referral network. Then we talk about our customer CRM tools. So let's go back to MyStateMLS. And from our contacts drop down at the top right corner, we can see I've got my View My Contacts. This is essentially going to be my CRM where I have all of my contacts contained in one individual place. Again, if I was working with Jim and Pam, I can put in their information here. Now, as I said, we had additional information. So we say we know that they've got a daughter named Cecilia, her nickname Cece. So we can save that there. So next time we give them a call and say, hey, Jim, how's it going? How's Cece doing? We've got this built into our system. We've also got a notes section as well. This is really cool because here we can have a running log of all the notes that we have. So we can say we met for coffee. Say we met for coffee to discuss potentially listing their home. And that's time-stamped. And that will just continue to grow. Right now it says 240 because that's just the time I entered it in. If I were to come back and look at this tomorrow, it would be time-stamped with today's date. So let's go back to our slide and let's just talk about the MyStateMLS Advantage before we wrap things up. So we saw that we give members the ability to search listings nationwide, but not only that, as a nationwide MLS, we also give our members worldwide listing exposure. MyStateMLS works with some of the biggest sites in the country. Then we also work with partners worldwide to send listings out to 100 different sites around the globe, making sure that members get the most exposure possible on their listings. Additionally, we offer our nationwide search tools. We mentioned that before. Not only that, we also offer monthly and yearly billing options for members. This is perfect for those new agents just getting started, those part-time agents, those referral agents looking for more tools. Because when new agents get licensed, they don't realize all of the upfront costs that they may have to pay to a local MLS. They don't realize that they have to pay realtor dues. They don't realize that it's $1,200 a year for the MLS. With MyStateMLS, we offer both monthly and yearly billing options. It's just $40 a month. There's no long-term commitments, and monthly memberships can be canceled at any time. Yearly membership is $330 for the full year and saves you $150 over that monthly rate by committing to that full year up front. On top of that, we also offer discounted office pricing as well. If you're a broker, you're an office manager, and you see the benefits of using MyStateMLS to grow your business, think about taking advantage of discounted office pricing. With this, all of the agents within your firm get their own individual accounts while the company pays a discounted rate. So typically I'd put in a slide here saying who's using MyStateMLS. Well, pretty much it's made for anyone. It's made for agents. It's made for brokers. More importantly, it's looking for those to get an edge up over their competition. Because as we know now, number one thing in the game of selling real estate is you've got to sell yourself. And what you've got to do is make sure you set yourself apart from your competition when you go on listing appointments. If you can tell a potential seller that you're going to put their listing into a nationwide platform that offers international syndication, that could in turn lead to you winning that listing. And if you use that as one of your marketing tactics in 2021, even if you just get one extra listing by using that tactic, that one extra listing is going to pay for your MyStateMLS membership for several years over. So it's certainly beneficial to you for you to use MyState as a marketing tool when you meet with potential sellers, with potential buyers. Because again, MyStateMLS is going to give you the tools not only to grow your business now, but next year and every single year after that. So without further ado, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at dave@mystatemls.com. If you're interested in that office pricing, feel free to get right in my inbox with that email. You can also give me a call at 888-769-7657. Thank you so much for joining us for our December webinar series. Have a wonderful holiday, a happy new year, and we'll be seeing you in 2021.